Welcome back to John Miller Field here at the Circle Top Bar and Grill on the outskirts of Denmark, Wisconsin. Blair Setford, Joe Todd with you on the ISC network. Joe Todd, we're back to the winner's bracket action. AWP Lumberjacks and Niagara Stompers. This promises to be a real good one. These teams have met a couple of times already this year. The higher ranked Stompers, number 2 in the ISC rankings, but AWP, 2 wins. Most recently last week at the U.S. National, but also a 4-3 win in Elkland. So those are not too far in the distant past.
That's correct, and it's always in their minds when they had the losses back to a team. So they're trying to get some retribution back.
Niagara Stompers have yet to give up a run in their 2 games. Here's the batting order that they're going to send to the plate. Teo Migliavaca, Blaine Milheim. He'll be followed by Cam Schiller, then Marshall Kronk in the 4 spot. Huemo Mata is in the 5 spot. Did not bat a lot this summer. Dylan Cunningham bats 6. Pittarona in the 7 spot. Juan Cruz Zera hits 8th. And batting in the 9 spot, it's Blake Underwood. I think Stack is a carryover from the last game there, but Blake Underwood bats in the 9 spot for the Niagara Stompers as we are underway. Defensively, it is Valdemar Turkelson, Jordan Solorio, and Miklas Kloss across the outfield, left to right. Around the horn, Francisco Lombardo, Carlos Carreño, Cody Panabecker, and Cisco Sabate defensively for the AWP Lumberjacks. Kuba Osichka on the board facing the Niagara Stompers. His battery mate is Tyler Booley. Federico Olheiser will be the DP for the Lumberjacks. Osichka, the big, tall Czech. And, Joe, that's becoming a bit of a pitching factory. There's 3 or 4 Czechs here pitching this week.
Well, they've had a great program, and they've spent a lot of money and really worked hard on their pitching staff. So give full kudos to that Czechia softball system.
Teo Migliavaca works a walk and will go to Blaine Milheim. Joe, we've been talking all season long about Blaine Milheim and the progress that he's made. And if you listen to his podcast appearances, he talks about the transition he's made from baseball over to fast pitch, and he spent a couple of years with the New York Gremlins, did pick up a championship with them in 2018 or 2019 with them before striking out and on his own, not just striking out in the game. And
don't curse him.
No, I don't want to curse Blaine. Had a great season with Fargo, an outstanding year last year with the Kitchener Twins, and that team has somewhat morphed into the Niagara Stompers in the off-season. But Blaine Milheim now is in that conversation, Joe. You start talking about who are the top players in the game. Blaine Milheim certainly in the top 10 for sure.
Oh, for sure. Great hitter, great base runner, plays great defense.
And certainly not lacking for confidence is Blaine. And I say that in a good way.
No.
I don't mean that to be derogatory in any way whatsoever. But this young man just exudes confidence in his skill sets, and he's got every reason to.
Yes. Fully agree.
The wind has really picked up and is blowing from right out to left. This one is fouled off. It was blowing directly in from right, but it is now shifted and is blowing right to left across the outfield. So a right-handed batter here like Blaine Milheim, you get anything up in the air, and it's got a good chance to go out to left today.
Oh, we saw a couple of balls in the previous game. Had some good movement over that fence.
Well, the Grand Prairie Pirates brought their hitting shoes and their power bats, I guess, because they launched 4 of them as they won 10-2 over the Elmira Expos in 5 innings. Change up. Milheim kept the hands back, had the foot forward, but kept the hands back and fouls it off.
Good pitch by Osichka.
He's got all the tools and levers, doesn't he, Joe? Big, long limbs, tall kid. Throws hard. There's a hopper on the infield. Barehanded and over to first. A head first slide. And Milheim. That's a good way to break a digit or something. But great hustle.
Good wheels down that line.
Not much that Carlos Carreño could do. I give him credit for the barehand. That's hard to do with a softball. It's a lot easier with a baseball. So 2 speedy guys aboard for the meat of the Stompers order. Cam Schiller first. Sichka in with a strike. And a good pitch on the outside corner. And Joe, maybe it's taken him a couple of batters to get warmed up. But those last 2 pitches, one on the inside, one on the outside, exactly where he needs to be, painting the corners.
Yeah, you got to stay out of the middle of the plate against this team.
Just upstairs. If you're just getting in with us, this is the 5 o'clock game. We are back on schedule. Blair Setford, Joe Todd on the ISC network. Niagara Stompers in white out on the at the bat. Rather, that's laced foul down the left side. That'll go out of play. On the field in the powder blue with the pinstripes, the AWP Lumberjacks from DuQuoin, Illinois, the southern part of the state. The Stompers from Niagara Falls, Ontario. Called strike 3 on Cam Schiller. He was trying to hold up his swing, but
Looked pretty good from the camera view.
So the reigning ISC MVP, Marshall Cronk, and what a 12 months this man from Australia has had. He went from being the ISC MVP to the WBSC MVP and world champion in both. Those are 2 pretty big prizes.
Yes, had a great year.
Fouled off at the plate. It's a bit of a jam for Osichka early. And the danger, too, with these 2 guys, Joe, is they just fly around the bases. It might be just a single, but might be hard to keep Migliavacca from scoring the way he runs. But Kronk chases upstairs, up and out of the zone for strike 3. And not sure if that's what Tyler Booley was expecting. So we're going to have a quick conference here on the signals. This is permitted. That's why the umpire goes right with them to make sure we're talking signals.
While we're talking the umpiring crew, the home plate umpire is Mark Corris, first base umpire is Kevin Wallace, and third base umpire is Mike Thibodeau.
The defensive delay rule is to prevent that kind of thing happening without the umpire escort, and it was happening every other pitch with a lot of the teams. So you get 1 permitted defensive conference per inning. If you get crossed up on a signal, then you can have that kind of conference where the umpire will accompany the catcher out. Otherwise, if you do it again, it's a ball on the batter. Mata chases upstairs.
For any of you potential pitchers out there, watch how Osichka uses his legs as his driving force. Those long legs, but he pushes off them and strides with those legs. Gets a lot of push on those legs. Very key.
1 ball, 2 strikes. You got to be careful with Huemo Mata. Plenty of pop in the bat. There's a reason he is in the middle of the lineup and a reason why he wanted to be hitting. And that's fouled off down the right side out of play. So last year at the end of the ISC World Tournament, the Twins, 8 of them, after it was determined that the Twins would fold up shop, 8 of them went over to the Niagara Stompers. And it's been a season of adjustments for a lot of the guys, getting to know each other, because there was an established team on the Stompers, and they've got more than a full roster.
Yeah, it takes a little while to harmonize there.
Chases upstairs. Kuba Osichka showcases a real good rise ball, strands a pair of runners. We'll go to the home half. Lumberjacks coming to the plate.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
My name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miglievaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo, pitcher de la Selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folka. I play for the Hill United Chiefs from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life.
My name's Jack Vesco from Australia, and I can't pitch without Gorilla Gold.
Gorilla Gold, the feel for the game.
There's the water tower on the outskirts of town here in Denmark, Wisconsin. You know that you're in Denmark because you can see that for about a mile before you get off the highway. You make your way through town to Memorial Park and then a little further on to the outskirts to arrive here at Circle Tap Bar and Grill. We're on John Miller Field, adjacent to the patio and the bar. We're right here. It is a great setup and a fantastic place for fast pitch softball. Joe, let's set the batting order for the AWP Lumberjacks. Leading off, it'll be Valdemar Terkelson. He'll be followed by Cody Pannebecker. Nicholas Kloss will hit third for the Lumberjacks. Francisco Lombardo in the cleanup spot. Jordan Solorio bats fifth. Tyler Booley sixth. Federico Olheiser, the designated player, in the seventh spot. Carlos Carreño bats eighth, and Cisco Sabate will hit ninth for AWP. Defensively for the Niagara Stompers, Pittarona, Teo Miglievaca, and Blake Underwood. Left to right across the outfield. Around the horn on the infield, Blaine Milheim, Cam Schiller, Reese Evans, Marshall Kronk, Huemo Mata, and Juan Zera, the familiar battery for the Stompers. Dylan Cunningham is the designated player. Joe, a year ago, Huemo Mata was dominating this tournament. How's he doing so far this year?
Well, so far he's only pitched 6 innings in the 2 games. Started both of those 2 games, picked up the 2 victories. Got 15 strikeouts and 1 walk.
The Stompers have yet to give up a run. 13-0 winners over
New Zealand Blue Sox.
And then 8-0, I believe it was, over 7-0 over the AHI Reapers. Valdi Terkelson has been coming over for quite a while from Denmark and spent some time with Pueblo, other teams in the Midwest, and Maybe he's found a home here with AWP and Lumberjacks. He's looked good this year.
Yes. Very steady. Great leadoff batter.
That misses just upstairs. Joe, we got to see Huemo Mata very early in the season, mid-June, at the Canada East qualifier in Mitchell, Ontario. And I remember in the championship game commenting that at the time, Huemo maybe looked like he was pushing about 2/3 to 70% capacity. Don't think he's holding back now.
No.
He's got a lot more zip on it than he did in mid-June.
Yeah, this is a show. This is a time.
Upstairs, ball 4, a good start for Valdemar Turkelson and the AWP Lumberjacks. Cody Pannebecker, Team USA member, will come to the plate.
Comparing the two team batting averages for the AWP Lumberjacks, 375 to date. For the Niagara Stompers, 386. Very close.
Those are some pretty lofty numbers through the first couple of games. It'll get a little bit tougher from here on in. Pannebecker shows bunt, but pulls it back.
Pannebecker squaring to bunt. Two balls to Pannebecker's count. Squaring again.
Yeah, squaring again. That's early in the game, but I guess you're thinking if you're only going to get so many chances against Huemo Mata and the Stompers,
You better get him early.
has a full cut at that one and fouled it straight back. Travis Pannebecker is coaching down at third. Brett Coben, the coach over at first. Merlin High, the field manager, he'll be in the dugout. And a good AB here by Cody Pannebecker early. A good battle, Joe. Just the second batter of the game, of the inning, rather.
They're making Mata work.
Just upstairs. That is a good look by Pannebecker to leave that pitch.
Yes. Had to be very tempting with that 2-2 count.
So run the count full, 3-2 to Cody Pannebecker. And ball 4. So each team get the first two batters aboard here in the first, and we'll see how Huemo Mata can deal with the adversity. Kuba Osichka reared back and struck out the 3-4-5 batters for the Stompers in the top of the first. What's Huemo Mata got in store for us? Miklas Kloss, Francisco Lombardo, Jordan Solorio will be set to come to the plate. Solorio, we saw Joe at the U23 World Cup, starred for Mexico. And Joe, already Martin Gonzalez is headed down to the bullpen. First pitch swinging, lofted way up in the air on the right side. Infield fly, Reese Evans will pull that down. Wasn't sure how far over he was going to have to drift.
Yeah, that wind might have picked it up too.
I mean, look where he started, and look how far he had to come over, standing right beside Marshall Cronk, who probably said to him, "Mate, yeah. I could have taken one step and had it."
That's it. Well, that ball's up in the air, and the wind is moving a little bit that way, so.
Francisco Lombardo. Big cut, comes up empty. These two were teammates for a number of years on the Kitchener Cubs. Their run to the championship game here in 2019 came up on the short end of a decision against the New York Gremlins that year, but the fantastic run for the Cubs, and several of them have made the jump to bigger teams, so-called bigger teams.
Lombardo 3 for 7 so far, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs.
Well, he's been a power hitter since he first appeared in the World Tournament with the U19 Argentina squad all the way back in 2012 in Midland. And this one is well hit, deep left, but foul and out of play. You see it on the wrong side of the wrong fence. Joe, you curious that Martin Gonzalez is up already?
Well, this is a very important game for your whole week. So if Mata ends up walking another person.
Oh, you're not going to pull Hoyman Mata here in the first.
No. But that's the reason you got to get him up. Oh, good play.
Hard one hopper and some great defense there by Reese Evans. That ball skipped off his glove. He took it in the chest, but he was able to corral it and make the flip to Schiller, who is money in the bank coming across the bag. So they work out of it on the double play. Defense coming to the aid of the Stompers in the bottom of the first. Scoreless through one complete.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjacks Sports. Focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product, Lumberjacks Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca to put your game over the top.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with two of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Designated player Dylan Cunningham, as the crowd's still buzzing a little bit, Joe, about that play by Reese Evans. That, to me, it had error written all over it because it went off his glove, but he corralled it against his chest and made a nice toss to Schiller.
Great defense. The key part of that whole thing was he got his body centered in front of that ball.
Oh, Cunningham, a little bit of an excuse me check swing foul. Two, 3-4 hopper out to Pannebecker, and he'll throw out Dylan Cunningham. Pittarona now to the plate. These two guys could be in the tallest person contest. Both of them are going to lose to Andrew Kirkpatrick, but they'd be in the race.
I want them on my basketball team.
Yeah, Osichka and Rona. Not sure what time it is in Auckland, New Zealand, Joe. They're about 19 actually from the Central Time Zone, about 19 hours ahead of us. But do want to say hello to Amanda and Brad Rona back at home in North Harbour in Auckland. This is downstairs. Brad Rona, ISC Hall of Fame nominee, and we'll look forward to being Brad inducted into our Hall of Fame next year in Surrey, British Columbia, the Greater Vancouver area. There's a great changeup from Osichka. Just about 10:30 in the morning tomorrow in Auckland. So good morning. Hope you're enjoying your morning coffee. That one misses downstairs, ball 4. Good eye there by Pittarona. Juan Cruz Zara to the plate for the Stompers.
Juan Cruz are 3 for 3 so far with 2 home runs of those 3. 7 RBIs.
Oh, everybody is having themselves a tournament here.
Yeah.
I don't envy the tournament selection committee. Going to be some people disappointed. Hard swing comes up empty. Zara, quite likely, Joe, will be the lead catcher for Argentina on a go-forward basis with the retirement of Bruno Matroni. And Bruno's still playing here in the ISC, but I'm sure there will be, when he hangs up the cleats for good, there'll be multiple Halls of Fame who will come calling for Bruno Matroni.
Great ball player, great person.
Zara will have some big shoes to fill, but something tells me he's up to it. He has been very steady and seems to improve every year, too. He was always good defensively, and what your numbers there tell me is that he's bringing the offense up to his defensive level to match that on both sides of the game. This AWP squad, a nice mix of some veterans and some younger players. Sat on the change. 5, 4, 3 equals 2. What you can do, we can do, say the AWP Lumberjacks. Let's go to the bottom of the second and see if they can do it with the sticks.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club with our
Jordan Solorio, Tyler Booley, Federico Olheiser for the AWP Lumberjacks. And Joe, this young man here from Mexico really impressed me at the U23 World Cup back in April in Paraná, helping to lead Mexico to a 4th place finish at the World Cup. Drills that first offering, but Cam Schiller, as he often is, the right place at the right time, and snares that hot shot right at the shoe tops.
He got it square.
We were talking the other night, Joe, about Cole Evans and how smooth defensively he is. Cam Schiller equal to that, in my opinion.
Oh, yes.
Big cut by Tyler Booley, another member of Team USA. And this guy has matured into a real nice ball player, too. I remember Tyler a little raw with the Team USA U19 team back in, I want to say 2016. I think he was a part of that team.
Yes.
2016. And here we are 7-8 years later, and Tyler emerging as one of the better hitting catchers in the game. Still got a few things to learn, I think, from Nick Mullins on Team USA. But that USA squad's in good shape.
Yes. Really progressed over the years.
Foul to the screen. Long look in from Huemo Mata. Now steps back with the lean. Called strike 3. The outside corner gets Tyler Booley looking.
First strikeout for Mata.
Right to the corner. Federico Olheiser, another member of that 2012 U19 team that would go on to win a couple of U19 championships. And then, Joe, they were the core of the Argentina team that would win the men's championship in 2019.
He had a great tournament up over there. Having a good one here, too. 3 for 7. 1 home run with 3 RBIs in his 2 games.
AWP had a snowball fight with the Kego Black Knights yesterday. They were down late in that game and then pushed across, what, about 9 runs in the last 2 innings?
I think it was 8-3 at one point, wasn't it?
7-3 at least.
7-3?
Yeah. And they ran it up to 12-7. Kego got a couple back in the bottom of the 7th, but that game was back and forth. Some discussions on the location of that pitch. Full count. Mata shakes 1, 2, and gets something that he likes. And a good, healthy cut by Federico Olheiser.
Good bat speed, good follow through. good quick hands.
And that is inside. Mata is looking for that pitch to be a strike. So it takes us down to Carlos Carreño in the 8th spot for AWP. Joe, a guy that's not in the lineup, Carlos Colmenares, made the all-world team last year. Carreño takes a pitch for a strike. And that is fouled off. Boy, they're getting some good cuts in. They're just not squaring it up right now. The timing is certainly there.
They swing hard, this team. I guess that's the only way you should be swinging.
Oh, and that catches the arm of Carreño. And he doesn't have one of the arm guards on like a number of other players do these days. So he'll be feeling the effects of that. I talked to Brandon Horn from Bear Creek Express after last night's game. He got hit early in the game, and he had ice on it and was still feeling it. There's nothing soft about a softball when it's thrown at 80 miles an hour at you. Carreño's down at first. He's showing Marshall Cronk where it got him. Marshall's thinking to himself, mate, better you than me.
Yeah.
Cisco Sabate, the veteran Argentina player. First pitch swinging, a little nubber, mishandled by Mata, and he alertly decides not to throw it to first. A lot of times, Joe, you've seen somebody try to make that throw in a hurry, and they throw it down the right field line. And I think that was the best thing that Mata could do, is just put that in his back pocket. Sabate was a step away from the bag by the time he got control of it.
Yeah, your best just to pick it up and regroup.
Valdi Turkelson to the plate, got a walk in his first trip, but's been hitting the ball well all year. And with the bases loaded, an opportunity for AWP to break out on top here. First pitch swinging, and again, boy, they are not just missing it by much.
No. All this happening again with 2 out.
Line shot up the middle. Here's one. Here's a throw at the plate. They've got him DOA at the plate. Carreño got the wave when perhaps he shouldn't. But EWP breaks out on top, 1-0.
Here at Chad Miller Field, Lumberjacks 1, Stompers 0.
catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Blake Underwood, and then the top of the shop for the Niagara Stompers. Blake, not your prototypical 9-batter. Joe has got some pop, and he would be a middle third guy for a fair number of teams here. Bouncer up the middle, slickly handled by Carlos Carreño, and who's saying, hey man, don't forget about me in these conversations about shortstops.
Yeah.
That was pretty slick coming across.
Good range.
Teo Migliavaca drew a walk, got to second. Joe, at one point we're going to get Donnie Atkinson to come up and chat. Donnie, part of the Twos Talk crowd, one of the originators of the podcast set. Looks like it's going to be right now, actually. Come on in. Nerve-wracking. Can we get a mic for Donnie? Yep. No rush. So one down, Teo Migliavaca, 1-on-1. And that pitch just misses inside.
This is Osika's first start of the tournament. Marco Diaz pitched the other two games, started the other two games.
Well, they've got two good young hard throwers in Diaz and Osichka. Diaz regularly over 80 on the gun, and Osichka can't be far behind.
Diaz has only pitched 7 innings so far, picked up 16 strikeouts in those 7 innings.
Yeah, he throws hard. Called strike 3. Teo Migliavaca down looking. That does not happen very often. Blaine Milheim to the dish.
4 strikeout for Osichka.
That infield single got the uniform dirty, diving head first into first. And that gets past a diving Cody Pannebecker. Milheim will take the turn and then retreat back to first. So he's 2 for 2 on the afternoon. And Cam Schiller to the dish. Cam very quietly got caught looking. That was the quietest strike 3 call I've seen all week. And he drills that first pitch off the fence. Milheim flying around second, gets the wave. The throw is to nobody in particular. And Milheim scores all the way from first base up into third with a stand-up triple is Cam Schiller.
Good power hit there by Schiller. Right up the middle against that fence.
Well, you just see the throw kind of bounce in behind Milheim about 6-8 feet up the line, if not more. But nobody had the opportunity to even cut that off, Joe.
No, not at all. It wasn't a very accurate throw.
So we got ourselves a tie ball game, a runner at third, and Marshall Kronk to the plate, who was an RBI machine last year. Speaking of RBI machines, let's talk about the Grand Prairie Pirates this afternoon as they cranked out 10 runs, 4 home runs. Donnie Atkinson, you guys brought the bats today.
Yeah, we did. It was good to see the guys get going. It's the first time we've had our so it's nice to see him swing it.
Started right from the get-go as here's a high hopper. Carreño will sidearm it to first, and they'll get out of the inning escaping with just the tie. We'll keep talking with Donnie Atkinson here through the break. Donnie, you guys came in, bit of a disappointing game yesterday for your side against the Toronto Batmen, but you took out some revenge today. What did you guys say to the team today coming into this one?
Well, Ty Sebastian threw a blinder at us for sure. He was throwing really well. He only had 4 hits, but they had made him count, obviously. So you got to leave that there. We played Rio Grande, had a good bounce back game. And the bats got hot in that game, and they just kind of kept going today. So it was really good to see the guys swing it like they're supposed to.
Started right off the hop with Braden Arcon. How nice is it to get a leadoff home run and set the tone?
Yeah, that's why he bats there. I mean, he should maybe be batting 3, but when you can start a game with a home run, it sets the tone pretty early for the guys.
He is a specimen up there too. Wow.
Yeah, we got a few large fellas, but Braden, yeah, he's a big kid. Yeah, you bet. He swings it hard.
Yeah, you guys really put on a show today, and you got the pitching to go with it too. Steve and Zippy both came in and did a real good job, I thought.
Yeah, Steve and Norman's throwing really well, and Zip coming in to close, he throws so hard, so it's nice to see 2 different looks, but the guys are both throwing bullets right now. And we'll need them tomorrow, obviously. We play the loser this one, so we got to be ready to go.
So doing some scouting here against the Stompers and AWP. You probably saw one of these guys at least earlier this year.
Yeah, we did see the Stompers in Toronto, and unfortunately, no excuses, obviously. We flew across the country, faced Devo first game, then we got Mata the next game. So at night,
that's a little stiff.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. So, yeah, they're a good hitting team, obviously. We just saw Schiller. He's a phenomenal hitter, phenomenal athlete. They're loaded top to bottom. There's not a weakness in this lineup. AWP we haven't seen yet, though, but they look really good.
They would have been in Elkland, I guess, when you guys were at the Summer Cup, right?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. There's a lot of ball that particular weekend. You guys made a couple of big journeys this year out to Ontario for the Tavistock event, and then the Summer Cup.
Yeah, we went to Marshall, which was... We went with a pretty light roster, but it was good to get some experience, some swings, and see some different teams. So there's good ball there, too.
Good stuff. Let's talk about Twos Talk. You guys have been on a bit of a hiatus, but we were just talking off air as this one gets laced out to left for a base hit, and both of these teams seem to have brought the hitting shoes today, too.
Yeah, Dean and Tosh both have pretty big schedules coaching national team stuff, so it's hard to line everybody up. But I think once we get our program tryouts done next week, we'll have more time to get some things going through the fall. It's a fun time. Podcasts are a great time. They're so knowledgeable. Their Rolodex of guys they get for guests are just amazing. So it's a lot of fun to do it and talk about the game.
Tell me how you guys got Buck Martinez, the color commentator for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, Dean was actually at a spring training game with Team Canada, and he saw him and he recognized me, yelled out Buck like a 13-year-old girl, and Buck waved at him like, yeah, I'll come talk to you in a minute. And he came over and said, I played fastball. I batted off Gene McWillie. I'd love to talk on your cast. And when we got him, he was phenomenal, obviously, but we did a lot of research talking about him, and he was really impressed. And what a storyteller that guy is.
Yeah, that was a great episode. I really enjoyed listening to that one. As this skips away from Juan Zera, can't find the handle, up to second base goes Cody Pannebecker. So AWP threatening again here in the bottom of the third inning, trying to retake that lead that they surrendered in the top half. Who's been your favorite guest to come on?
If not Buck, then Peter Labardius probably.
Right.
He is a phenomenal guest.
Yeah. Joe and I got to work with Peter at the Chiefs Challenge this year, and this one is laced out to the gap, but coming across, Teo Migliavaca makes the grab, going to try to get down to third, gets dirty, and in safe is Cody Pannebecker. That's some good base running, Joe Todd, by Cody Pannebecker to tag on that play. You know that Teo Migliavaca's got a good arm.
That was a great play. Good base running there by Pannebecker. Pick it to make sure you pick up that ball, release at the right time. When you get off that bag, you don't want to miss that chance to score because there was nobody out of that situation.
So one down, and Francisco Lombardo coming to the plate. Good opportunity here for AWP. Yeah, we're going to hopefully work with Peter Labardius at the Canadians coming up in a couple of weeks. Luciano, myself being involved. We had Greg Tim up here yesterday talking about the ISCs coming out to Western Canada in 2024. It's got to be something that your team is looking forward to as well.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to see a lot of different teams too, obviously from the West United States and Western Canada for sure. It'll be nice. That's a great facility out there. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's beautiful out there.
That's going to be my first time to Softball City. Looking forward to it and seeing what they're going to have to offer for not just the Canadians this year, but for the ISC World Tournament, the big show coming in 2024. What about the Pirates? Let's talk through your season. You guys made a couple of journeys, we know, and but mostly the same crew. I mean, you guys have got a tight-knit group.
Yeah, we've had a lot of guys on our team since '03 when we first came with the Dodgers, which is crazy. It's a family group. Like we add a couple guys here and there as guys age out or guys have families or can't commit, but it's been the same group for quite a while. We've added some guys like Nihai, he's fit in really well. Walushka this year, like just great guys. And then we honestly look for obviously talented guys, but guys that'll fit in with our culture, and it works so well.
I was saying to Joe earlier, I can remember the Lloydminster Dodgers coming to ISC2 with about a 17-year-old Corey Jones and sitting down to talk with him. I think he was so nervous. He could barely get the words out. He's a pretty confident guy these days.
He is. We actually signed him to a lifetime contract at that tournament, which has been the subject of a few podcasts.
That's right.
But yeah, he's a poised hitter. He's a fantastic guy, and he's stuck to it. He's had offers to go other places, but it's like I said, the guys really like playing for this group.
Joe and I were discussing, did we ever give you guys the best dressed team?
No, we have never got it. And
I can't believe that.
We've been robbed a few times.
I think so, yeah. I can guess why.
That's some nice tops. It's a disappointment because we've dressed pretty nice, I thought, but I'd rather win the tournament than the best dressed if you can win that.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Third walk of the game, and still combined with a hit batsman too. Gonzalez is back up warming up in the bullpen.
That was a mighty cut there from Jordan Solorio, the youngster from Mexico. You guys have got a couple of younger guys, but you got a nice mix of veterans too. Your team composition. You just talked about it. The culture, obviously, very important.
Yeah, it's important who you add too. Obviously, having Zach Pierce and Steve Norman throwing, Patty Burns throwing. We've got good arms, but the most part, the guys all get along really well. We're actually sitting out in center field right now watching this game. We do everything as a team. We have team meals. Everyone gets along, so it means a lot that we can travel this far and be a bit of a family.
Yeah, travel is far. Now, did you guys all fly down, or did you all get in a van and drive?
No, we flew. It's way too far to drive. We did drive when we came to the twos a few times. I think we drove to Fargo. We drove to Chippewa Falls. The drive here is a lot of fun. The drive home isn't as much. So.
No, 20-hour drives are honestly, I don't know that you can ever count them as fun.
At our age now, too, it's not fun to drive that far. But when we were kids, it seemed like a great idea.
I'm sure it did at the time. Yeah. As you said, though, it's the drive home that gets you.
Yeah, it's usually pretty tough.
Yeah. Where do you go from here? What's next for the Pirates? Do you
Nationals?
Nationals,
yeah.
And then do you guys have provincials or anything like that after the Nationals? Or
no, we didn't have provincials this year. We're the only Alberta team in A, so we didn't have one, and that's it. So we'll be done here. We might go to Carson City, a few guys in September, but for the most part, we're gonna start planning for next year and get our roster in line and our tournaments in line, where we're going, and sponsors and.
And that is out over the head of Cam Schiller. Around comes Cody Pannebecker. AWP retakes the lead. And this is going to be a dogfight, Joe Todd. These two teams, I think, are going to go back and forth here over the course of the afternoon. But again, AWP knows what it takes to beat this team. They've already done it twice.
Well, Solario had just a nice basic hit. He had his job to do at the plate, and he did it.
And there's a youngster, too, who had a lengthy at-bat and really dug in there against Toimo Mata. Good to see from the young man. Tyler Booley now to the plate.
As a member of the Pirates, I hope this game goes 10 innings and they battle it out and tire each other out.
Just drain each other, right?
Go ahead and fight, boys. That's great.
I'm sure. You wouldn't be upset about that. On the other hand, the broadcast crew really doesn't look forward to yet another late night.
I got to say, seeing it from this side, this is an unbelievably professional run. broadcast. You guys are doing a great job over here.
Well, we thank you for that.
Whew.
It's full credit and all credit to Luciano and the professionalism that he brings to the broadcast, and his wife Carol Dureste out on the camera over on the first base dugout. She's actually behind some fencing, so we don't really get to see her from the booth. But I will say this: she's much better situated there than she was in Simcoe, where she was basically out there on her own, dodging the foul balls.
Good to give credit to the behind the line people here who make it happen. Hey.
Well, you know what that's like. You're the driving force behind Tues Talk, let's face it. Tosh and Dino are just coasting on your coattails.
They are, for sure, yeah. It's the first time I got to carry those two, so I'll take it. I do a lot of the heavy lifting there, for sure, yeah.
We're chatting with Donnie Atkinson, and Donnie, maybe we'll conscript you guys to come in and do a game if that's something that you guys are interested in doing.
We would love that. It's fun up here. You got a great view. What a spot. Best seats in the house, guys.
Yeah, they're pretty good here. They treat us rather well, and we get to do the stuff that we like to do, which is talk about ball and bring in great guests like yourself. You know what? Let's keep chatting about the opportunity for you guys to maybe come up and do a game here. But listen, thanks for joining us on the broadcast here. And maybe depending on how your week goes, if you guys are still here on Friday, maybe that'll be something for us to chat about.
We'd love to come back anytime. This is a great tournament, and you guys are doing a great job. This is the best game on the planet, and we're happy to be in this big tournament for sure.
Well, listen, and we love listening to Tues Talk too. So look forward to that return
back,
this fall.
Promise.
And look forward to the opportunity to maybe be a 5-minute guest on Tues Talk
you will
sometime.
be a guest upcoming. We have a list of people we have to contact. So
well, I'd love to do a recap for you guys. We've got Dust Up as a sponsor, and Outside the Chute, good friends there, as well as Beyond the Dugout. So all of you guys are doing a great job. It is great to always listen to guys talking about fast pitch. So thanks again for coming up.
Thank you very much for having me, boys.
And we'll catch up to you soon.
Sounds great.
Great. Thanks, Donnie. Appreciate you guys coming up.
Crucial part of the game here with the bases loaded, just one out. Federico Olheiser now at the plate. Got walked the previous time back in the second inning.
He has put some good swings on the ball in both of his at-bats. And this guy's a big guy at the plate, too. I don't think I appreciated how big he really is. In my mind, he's still the 18-year-old kid from 11 years ago. But he's a big guy up there.
He doesn't get cheated.
That just misses downstairs. How many walks? 4?
4 walks and a hit batsman in 3 innings.
It's a tough lineup that AWP has put together very quietly, I think. One of the top 5 teams, top 4 teams even, arguably. They've got a couple of wins over Bear Creek this year, too. They played a really good schedule. I think you talked about it off the top. They won the Kelso tournament. Played in Elkland in that event.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, that is a healthy cut right there. And again, he's right on it. I mean, he's not late.
No.
He's just not quite squaring it up. And we've said this numerous times already. Not fooling too many people here right now.
And with the speed of that swing, if he gets a hold of it, it'll travel.
Oh, called strike 3 on the inside corner. Federico Olheiser not happy with that call.
2 strikes, though. Got to protect the plate. Don't leave the call in the umpire's hands.
Shortstop, Carlos Carreno.
Just a second strikeout for him, Umada, today.
Carreno, who was hit by the pitch back in the second inning. Chases upstairs, and Umada a couple of strikes away here from working out of this big jam, but they've surrendered the tie. But if he can get out of this, Joe, a moral victory, do you think?
Oh, for sure. It has to be. Carreno got hit by a pitch back in the second inning.
We're an hour into this one, still not done the third. Base runners every inning.
Good waste pitch there by Mata.
Yeah, but he's behind now, 2-1, and there's been a lot of batters where he's fallen behind.
Yeah.
And 3-1. No room to put him anywhere, Joe,
Nope.
so you've got to make 2 fine pitches here. Swing and a miss. Carreno tried to do too much there.
Yeah. All you're looking for is a big base hit right now.
Yeah, you don't need to hit it out of the park
No.
here. You just need something that's going to land on the grass.
And take it anywhere. Use all fields.
And this one is popped up in behind first base, ranging over just into foul territory, and the basket catch is Reese Evans. So they give up 1. They now trail 2-1, but the Stompers get out of that inning, Joe, by limiting the damage. And you're right, I think a moral victory there for them. But for AWP, they retake the lead, and now they've got to bar the door.
The New York Gremlins congratulate our own Dr. Bob Neidick on his induction to the ISC Hall of Fame as this year's recipient of the Bob Welby Memorial Recognition of Service Award. Dr. Bob is a 4-time ISC World Champ, winning his first 2 titles with the Kitchener River Shark Twins in 2008 and 2009. His second 2 came with us in 2018 and 2019, and he says, we're not done. Bob started in the game when he was 17 in Pennsylvania and played in a national championship in 1996. His first ISC World Tournament was 2004 in Fargo, North Dakota. Since 2012, he's been a Gremlins co-sponsor, and we couldn't be prouder of him to be recognized for all of his contributions to the game.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob.
Umada to lead things off. Boy, he threw a lot of pitches that previous inning. Now he's got to come right out and bat. Boy, wouldn't it just be the Stompers' luck if he had to go out there and run the bases, though I'm
Yeah.
just about certain you'd see a pinch runner at that point. Called strike, and I'm sure Huimo Mata would want that pitch if he was pitching. And chases upstairs. Won't have to worry about running the bases there. Huimo Mata, good morning, good afternoon, and good night as he chases upstairs for strike 3.
5th strikeout for Osichka.
Ball 2 to Dylan Cunningham, designated player for the Stompers. And there's a strike. Golfs that one, Joe. Boy, here's another guy who must hit a 9-iron pretty well as he went down and almost got that one off the ground. And it bounces over the head of Francisco Lombardo. Look how low he got that. And it's almost like a pool shot, like he was playing a ricochet. Pinch runner for Dylan Cunningham. That's number 27.
27.
Reese Evans, who's the flex, so he can go run for the DP. Yeah, coming up, the Hill United Chiefs versus R.M. Kurtz. Michael Hollabraddock and Eric Chaparro will do the pitching for the Hill United Chiefs and R.M. Kurtz, respectively. Kurtz, Joe, you call them Cinderella, or were they just massively underranked? They're a good team.
Yeah, I guess we just never saw them on the big circuit. They went to Elkland, and where else were they?
Well, they played in the Molly Sherman in Elkland. They played in the Osable Forks tournament where they beat Kingston in the final, and they won that one. They play in that Stevens League, which is a good little league out in Pennsylvania.
I guess the fact of just the unknown.
Back up the middle by Pittarona. Evans will pull the plug at second, and Stompers are in business here in the top of the 4th. So much like the other night where we said it wasn't going to end 2-1, I don't think this one is going to end that way either. These two teams can put up runs. We've seen them do it already here this week, and now we're going to get a meeting of the minds as Travis Pannebecker and the rest of the infield will gather. Juan Zera will be the batter when we get everybody back to the dish. And Zera hit into that snazzy double play, 5-4-3, that AWP pulled off to end the second. So Osichka got a little bit of work to do here. 1 down in the inning. Zera is the 8th batter in the order for the Stompers. Oh, well, somebody almost got getting a little greedy there. We have seen the ball come off the screen, and Evans has got to be smart because, as you just saw there, it comes right back to the catcher, and they can come up fully loaded for bear with a throw, and we've seen a couple of guys already thrown out at second trying to advance on what would normally be a wild pitch or a pass ball, especially if it's up.
You think they would have gone to school or watched a couple games by now? Hopefully they have.
Zara and Blake Underwood, the 8 and 9 batters, with the opportunity to drive in some runs for the Stompers. 3-0, Osicka falling behind. In danger of loading the bases. There's a strike. And Joe, your team is just fought and clawed to scratch across a run, and the last thing you want to do is go out and put guys on base and give it right back.
Yeah.
Zara does him a favor and chases downstairs.
I think I'd stay with that drop ball.
Well, we'll get reset. So 3-2 on the infield, and bobbled. Pannebecker will flip to second.
Yep.
And
that was a good play to recover, though.
Well, it was, and I mean, Pitterona was kind of caught in betwixt and between because he doesn't want to get tagged, so he slows down, but then when Pannebecker has the miscue on the ball, he still can't get to second.
Yeah.
So good play by Pannebecker to not panic and realize he could still get an out of all of that. So runners on the corners.
Crucial out there.
And just misses inside to Blake Underwood.
Underwood grounded out to Carlos Carino at shortstop last time. Back in the third.
Takes a strike. And takes another. I'll tell you something, both of these guys, Osicka and Mata, when they get on a roll, they're quick.
Yeah.
Osicka in particular. Swing and a miss, works out of this jam. Blake Underwood can't catch up to the big rise ball. A good inning for the AWP Lumberjacks. They take the lead, and then they hold in the top of the fourth. They'll come up and try and add to this 2-1 lead. Luciano Lafrano at the controls, giving us the count in time to the music. The ageless Cisco Sabate to lead things off. I remember we had Colin Abbott on as a guest one night, and he talked about Cisco Sabate as a crafty lefty. Maybe one of the few guys that gave Colin a bit of trouble over the years, or at least that he didn't have as much success against, let's call it that. Because Colin had success against everybody, let's face it. Sabate then back to the top of the shop for Turkelson and Pannebecker. Martin Gonzalez is back up throwing. Chases upstairs, and I wonder if this is the game plan, Joe, is you just get Gonzalez up every half inning when your team is out in the field so that he is ready in case he's called upon.
Yes, I'm sure that is. AWP Lumberjacks have to start taking advantage of the situations they've been in. They've left 6 runners on base, and 4 of those 6 runners were in scoring position. So that's in the first 3 innings of the game.
Sounds like another team that dresses in powder blue.
Yes.
Powder blue is going to be a popular color tonight because that's also the color for the Kurtz squad out of Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Called strike 3, Sabate. I thought that pitch was out of the zone.
That is the 3rd strikeout for him Umada in the game, and all 3 of them have been caught looking.
Well, you saw where Zara was set up. He was set up off the plate. The pitch was to the glove, but I think what happens is it clips the front corner on the way by. Big cut by Turkelson. It's not where the catcher catches it, and I think that's something that a lot of people sometimes get fooled by. The catcher might catch it off the plate, but it's where it crosses the plate that the umpire is judging on. Ryan French also up throwing for the Stompers. So the 2 righties. And that was always going to be the question, Joe, was who would the 3 pitchers be for the Stompers? Because they had a bunch of them on the roster. Called a strike. Turkelson wanted to go for it and didn't, and is now just realizing that it was called a strike.
Oh, darn.
Mata seems to be mixing the speeds a little bit more this inning, Joe. He's not come with the full changeup, but a couple of pitches he's not thrown as hard as he normally does either. And that one just misses off the zone. He's now up to 80 pitches. Well, yours is a little behind mine. You're about 5 pitches behind. Both of us are looking at Game Changer for the pitch count. On the infield, Reese Evans on the backhand to go get that one. Evan shows his versatility too. Can play second, can play third, a little bit of short.
Shows you the depth of the Stompers line up in the roster. And the versatility.
Pannebecker chases downstairs. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. You hear the shout from Huemo Mata as he releases the ball. Like a tennis player.
Yeah.
The changeup just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. AWP hasn't been able to get a base runner here in the bottom of the 4th. It's lifted up and out of play. AWP stands for Allstat Wood Products. Daniel Allstat helping to sponsor this squad. Swings through. Huemo Mata gets his first clean inning of the game. Comes in the 4th. AWP Lumberjacks still nursing this 2-1 lead. Will go to the top of the 5th. The Niagara Stompers back to the plate.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Joe, we talked about Huemo Mata being at the 80 pitch mark roughly in the last inning. Kubo Sichka at the 70 pitch mark, so a little bit more efficient, but both of these guys have had base runners on.
Still over the normal number, and you're usually playing on 15 to 16 per inning, and these guys are both up in the low 20s. That will catch up to you in the later innings.
Teo Migliavaca looking to bunt his way on. The Twins have got the perfect, or the Twins. That's who they were last year.
Yeah.
The Stompers have got the perfect mix of speed and power. The first 5-6 batters in their order. That just misses. Migliavaca and Milheim can fly at the top. Schiller, Kronk, Mata, Cunningham providing the power. Called strike 3. Migliavaca again, the second time tonight, down on strikes.
Just have to be a little bit more aggressive with 2 strikes on you.
Blaine Milheim to the dish. Milheim reached on a single. He's 2 for 2, but reached on a single in the third. Swings over that. We got some action down in the bullpen. That is number 22, Marco Diaz for AWP. This one misses downstairs. Diaz, 19 or 20 years old, Mexican national, but is getting or has got, Joe, his U.S. citizenship. And Team USA is very much looking forward to him joining their staff.
I would imagine.
Throws in the low 80s. And with guys like Brent Stevenson and Gerald Muslar to work with him, he'll be refining his craft. And he and Bradley Kilpatrick will give the U.S. a nice 1-2 punch.
Yes.
Righty and lefty. Milheim swings through that offering from Osichka. Great pitch there.
Got a little bit of an undercut there by Milheim. Not a level swing.
Full count. And he just laces that through the 5.5 hole. Blaine Milheim 3 for 3.
Shortstop, Cam Schiller.
And Cam Schiller will come up with another runner on base again. This was the scenario back in the third inning. The two of them put it together. That provided the only run of the game for the Stompers. Called strike on the outside edge to open up this at bat.
Nice pitch by Osichka. Trying to tempt Schiller into going after that rise ball. Schiller laid off.
Booley is dying to throw a ball down to first. Milheim likely a little too smart for that.
Yeah.
Seen a couple of guys get picked off down there this week already.
We have some great throwing arms here by catchers.
Oh, a little one-hopper went right over the glove of Osichka, and did Carreño pick that up with a foot on the base? Our
Don't think
umpire says no.
No, he didn't.
Look at that. Right over the glove.
Yeah.
Looked like he just came off the base as he was picking it up. So a little bit of misadventure for AWP. Puts a pair of guys aboard for Marshall Kronk. And that's going to draw a mound visit from Travis Panebecker. And might that be it for Osichka? It is. So let's take a break. We'll await Marco Diaz. We'll be back. Marco Diaz will come on in relief and try to work out of this jam that AWP finds them in here in the top of the 5th inning. And Joe Todd, I'm looking forward to seeing Marco Diaz in person and hearing about him all summer. Haven't had the opportunity to watch him live. But he opens up with a strike. Kronk not thrilled with that call, to say the least.
Pitching line on Oshicha, 4 in the 3rd inning, 1 run, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks.
Well, Joe, I like the move here by Travis Panabecker and the AWP crew. Oshicha, as well as he was throwing, you're now 3rd time through the order. He did his job, and you've got a flamethrower in Diaz.
And if he can work it right and get 9 outs, he only has to face everybody once.
Well, that just missed upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Marshall Kronk. A pretty stern test to come in and face the reigning world MVP.
Kronk usually pulls it to the outside of the infield.
And late on that swing, Marco Diaz gets a big out, 2nd of the inning. And Huemo Mata. Joe, it's exciting to think about some of these young pitchers. We talk about Jack Besgrove and the just unbelievable phenom that he is, and the debut that he made in the World Tournament last night. That was his first game last night. Struck out 18, 1 hit. But here's a guy who's 19 years old, Marco Diaz. Oshicha is just in his early 20s. Even Huemo Mata is only mid-20s.
Yeah.
Feels like he's been around forever, but I think he's just mid to late 20s. So there's a lot of guys with real bright futures.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Mata was with us when we went up to Yukon in 2014 for the juniors on that squad.
Yeah.
So that would have been
him and Roman Godoy.
9 years ago. Yeah, so late 20s.
Just blows that one by Huemo Mata. Wow.
Oh, I wish I had a speed gun. I think Woody's got one.
Gets out of the inning with a big rise ball for strike 2 and a great drop ball for strike 3. Marco Diaz comes on and slams the door shut on the Niagara Stompers. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. AWP Lumberjacks still clinging to this 2-1 lead.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com. and make your technology work for your business.
3-4-5 for the AWP Lumberjacks as we'll go to the home half of the fifth. Miklas Kloss, Francisco Lombardo, and Jordan Solorio. Czech, Argentina, and Mexico. This is an international squad, Joe. You've got a Dane leading off, an American in the 2 spot, a Czech, Argentina, Mexico, U.S., Argentina, Venezuela, and back to Argentina, 1 through 9.
And with a Chechia pitcher. Starter.
Yeah. Yeah. This is way up in the air. Marshall Cronk will come in and make the catch. Juan Cruz Zera went down to one knee. I think if I saw Marshall Cronk running at me and not really looking, I'd just be getting the hell out of the way.
Yeah. Digging a hole.
Yeah. Yeah. You do not want to get run over by Marshall Cronk. It'd be like getting hit by a Mack truck. French and Gonzalez continuing to take turns down the right field side. Lombardo at the dish. Called strike, low part of the zone. Lombardo's. Is that as low as you're going? And I think that's the assurance he's getting. And there was a youngster there. You see him just to Huemo Mata's right, had his hands on the screen. And Solorio rightly mentioned to the umpire to get the hands off the screen. You don't want to lose any digits to a foul ball.
No.
Called strike down in the zone again. Lombardo's got quite the leg kick, Joe. He brings that left leg back all the way to his right leg and then drives with it. Brings the knee up.
Got a lot of late movement.
Shadows creeping across the diamond. They're about halfway across. You see Huemo Mata, half in shadow, half still in sun. And this one well hit, deep right field, way back in, off the top of the fence. We've talked about the wind blowing in from right, and Lombardo and everybody else here thought he had it. Huemo Mata hung his head. And just off the top of the fence. Lombardo will give way to a pinch runner. 27 on to pinch run. That is Juan Valla.
Running at second, number 27, Juan Valla.
Valla or Valla? Luciano. Valla or Valla? Number 27. Valla. Thank you, sir. So the infield getting together here. Dwayne Milheim looks like he's calling the shots. Jordan Solorio.
A line drive.
Line out to center and a single, RBI single.
Shortstop.
Shortstop. Okay. Couldn't decipher the hieroglyphics.
Yeah. Caro or Camp Schiller.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right. On the shoe tops.
Yep.
Misses upstairs. Martin Gonzalez was the last one down for the Stompers, still throwing, but they're making their way back towards the dugout. The wind now, Joe, is almost blowing straight in from center. It looks like that flag swirling around a little bit. Maybe we can get a shot of the flag out in center field just to take a look at the wind. Called a strike. Booley wanted to go around but didn't. Mata, a long look in, shakes out the arm. And this is a little flared on the left side, and that's going to just fall foul.
$102 pitches for Himumata to this stage.
Well, we know he can go 150 because that's exactly what he did in the championship game last year against the New York Gremlins. Probably took a year to recover after all that. Booley, a big cut. Just fouled it off. But a long walk out behind the circle. And he's taking more and more time in between every pitch, Joe.
Yes. Slowing the pace of the game down.
Called strike 3, outside corner. Tyler Booley will go down on strikes. AWP Lumberjacks will strand that runner at second base. We'll go to the top of the 6th, early, getting late for the Niagara Stompers, trailing by 1.
The New York Gremlins congratulate our own Dr. Bob Niedek on his induction to the ISC Hall of Fame as this year's recipient of the Bob Welby Memorial Recognition of Service Award. Dr. Bob is a 4-time ISC World Champ, winning his first 2 titles with the Kitchener River Shark Twins in 2008 and 2009. His second 2 came with us in 2018 and 2019, and he says, we're not done. Bob started in the game when he was 17 in Pennsylvania and played in a national championship in 1996. His first ISC World Tournament was 2004 in Fargo, North Dakota. Since 2012, he's been a Gremlins co-sponsor, and we couldn't be prouder of him to be recognized for all of his contributions to the game.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob.
It'll be Dylan Cunningham, Pitterona, and Juan Zera, 6'7", 8" for the Niagara Stompers to face hard-throwing youngster Marco Diaz. Boy, he just came in like a thundercloud there, Joe, and polished off the 5th inning.
Well, and that's what you want out of a relief pitcher. Come in and throw strikes. Did exactly what the coaching staff wanted. Marco Diaz really works that Gorilla Gold in the back pocket.
Big cut from Dylan Cunningham. He's 1 for 2. Ground out in a single. And fouls that one straight back to the screen. So all these hitters, Joe, it doesn't take them long to time up the guys. Doesn't matter how hard you throw. It's all about the movement, and that's what makes Jack Besgrove so special is the movement.
Yes, he has the full arsenal.
It's a good take by Dylan Cunningham to run the count to 2-2. Filling up nicely here, Joe Todd at Circle Tap as coming up Hill United Chiefs, and then the home team is on the diamond in the late game in the loser bracket. Center fielder Jordan Solorio will make the catch and retire Dylan Cunningham. Pitterona to the plate, a walk and a base hit. It's funny how the bat almost looks small in the hands of Pitterona.
Yeah. Pitta in his 2 games so far, he's 3 for 5. Does have a home run and does have 4 RBIs so far.
Well, he's ahead 2-0, and a good count here for the big man. Diaz rears back and pours in a drop for a strike and run the count to 2-1. And make it 3-1.
Good close-up shot there.
Just about all of the infield in shadow, but the players themselves, the guys that are just in behind the baselines, are still in the shade, Joe. Or, sorry, in the sun. Panabecker, Carreño, and mostly Francisco Lombardo at third are still in the sunlight, battling the sun. Cisco Sabate at first has ditched the sunglasses. Juan Zera, fielder's choice, and hit into a double play. Chopper up the middle, that'll get through. Pitterona will advance up to second and no further. So Blake Underwood with an opportunity to tie the game with a base hit or more. And again, the Stompers guys on. And Joe, you talked earlier about AWP Lumberjacks needing to take advantage of the situations. Same thing now applies for the Stompers in the later innings. They've had 2 guys on each of the last 3 innings, I think.
Yes, you are correct. And you just cannot walk away from these type of opportunities.
Diaz a little befuddled by strike zone. Thought he would be up 0-2, but he's 1-1. That's chopped, but it's going to go foul. We remarked last night, Joe, about all the high hoppers, and that continues to be the case today. A lot of guys beating the ball into the ground.
Good, hard, compacted surface we're playing on here at John Miller Field.
Off the screen, and the throw down to third. But Arona beats out the throw. You see here, Booley gets a hold of it pretty quickly. That one off his glove and just deflected it a little bit. He'd almost been better just to let it go straight off the screen. Zara's up to second on the play as well, so 2 runners now in scoring position. Need a strikeout if you are Marco Diaz here. And gets it, blows a drop ball by Blake Underwood. Boy, he just reared back and threw that, but good location too. It's down and in, ties up Blake Underwood.
Good pepper on that pitch.
Top of the shop, Teo Migliavaca. And a test here for Diaz. You know, Migliavaca wants to do something special, and that's past the shortstop, Carreño. Here comes Rona. Here comes Zara. And out at second base is Migliavaca. But both of those runs will count as they cross the plate before he was tagged out at second. A good job here by Jordan Solorio to get it in, and you see the tag there on Migliavaca, but he drives in 2, and the Niagara Stompers take a 3-2 lead in the top of the 6th. And Joe, it's amazing how quickly the fortunes can turn. That wild pitch, crucial, gave the extra bases to both Rona and Zara. Zara doesn't score on that play if he doesn't get to start from second base. Big cut by Olheiser, comes up empty. And Migliavaca, who had struck out twice looking in his previous 2 at-bats. Bear with us as we work through a bit of an internet connectivity issue. We'll be right on. Get the picture back for you. In the meantime, Olheiser fouls one over the bar on the right side. Mata shaking out that right arm, Joe. I know he does that frequently, but boy, he's doing it a lot right now. Misses down and in to Olheiser. French, Gonzalez continue to take turns down the right field line. Olheiser launches another K-Master out into the parking lot. Thanks, folks, for letting us know that the picture is good. Appreciate it. And this one will go join the collection of others on the other side of the building. Somebody's making some money over there. Hopefully they're going to run some of them back because, well, actually, we're not in any danger of running out. There's at least half a dozen in the basket and behind home plate. Though that one on the top needs a wash. Well, he reached back for that one with some extra oomph on it, Joe, and blows it by Federico Olheiser.
Just a little bit more pepper there.
Well, that pitch was reminiscent of last year's final, where he would reach back at times and just find something, just an extra gear, and be able to get it by somebody.
7th strikeout for Helmut Mata here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Carreño to the plate. Misses off the outside corner. If you're an AWP fan, you'd really love for your team to answer right back here after surrendering the lead that they've had the bulk of the game. And as Mata turns up the wick, Joe, he turns up the volume, too. There's a called strike. Get everybody back in place. 3-1 to Carreño. And that is ball 4. Carreño will issue some instructions to Cisco Sabate as he makes his way down to first.
Fifth walk for him, Umada, combined with a hit by pitch back in the second inning.
Merlin High is out to chat with the home plate umpire, and now we're getting the first base. Oh, that's Carreño. He's getting into it with Kronk, and now everybody else is going to come out and have a discussion. Zara, who can occasionally be hot-headed, is going to get walked away from some other folks. Here comes Kevin Wallace to keep the peace. Kronk is going to impose himself between about 3 guys. Ron Hackett is out on the field to play peacemaker. Pitterona is over laughing and chatting with, is it Cisco?
Cisco Savate?
Yeah, I think it was Cisco. No, it was Valdi Turkelson, actually, that he was chatting about it with. And not sure what precipitated all of that. It looked like Kronk and Carreño were having some mixed words. Carlos Colmenares has come on to run for Carreño out at first. So that's the substitution, and everybody else is getting to be back where they should be. Kyle Linton and Darren Newson are still milling around the entrance for the Stompers. Ron Hackett is going to go out and have a mound visit. So a lot of milling around, but not much else. One down in the inning. Carreño worked the walk. We were going to get the pinch runner Colmenares brought in, but then everybody decided to make an appearance on the field.
Good control of the game by the umpiring, Blue Crew.
Sabate has reached on a single. Is that what that is?
Error to one.
Reached on an error. And
Abe Umada. And a strikeout looking.
that is chopped foul at the plate. Try your game changer. Mine is it's either glitching or they're having problems with it, one of the two.
Mine's stuck. I was hoping it was reset.
Way upstairs from Huemo Mata. Shaking that arm out again. And that's laced past Cam Schiller, and it gets by the left fielder. Pitterona. Coming in to score is Colmenares. They tie the game. Cisco Sabate comes through in the clutch for AWP. 3-3.
Big power hit there by Sabate. Taking that ball the other way.
Let's see the replay. See if we can see what happened out and left. Just couldn't get to it.
Yeah,
Pitterona.
I think it was just a good hard shot.
Yeah, it was a hard hit ball. And that Valdi Turkelson to the plate. David Alvarado is outrunning for Cisco Sabate at second, and no, we're just going to pick up a stray bat there along the third baseline. So top of the shop for this scrappy AWP team, Joe.
They're not letting up at all. They're wanting to continue on with this fight.
And that is laced but caught by Reese Evans. He reaches up and out to his left. Watch the replay. And you can see Reese Evans going up to his left, just within reach. So 2 down with another hard hit ball, as we're now into the 4th time through the order for AWP. Cody Pennebecker at the plate. And that misses upstairs. Two and 0. And Chase is upstairs. Long look in from Mata again. And it just blows that one by Cody Pennebecker. That looked to be right there in the middle of the zone, or close to it.
Real late swing there by Pennebecker. Got to pick that ball up a little quicker.
Over to shortstop. Schiller guns it across to Marshall Cronk for the final out of the inning. Marshall Cronk looks a little fired up still. AWP push across the tying run in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-3. We go to the top of the 7th. And who's going to blink next?
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game, every at-bat? You need Lumberjacks Sports. Focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product, Lumberjacks Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca to put your game over the top.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill
Thank
Golf.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
With our beautiful 27.
Well, Joe, if you are a Niagara Stomper fan, you're right where you want to be here in the top of the 7th. Blaine Milheim, Cam Schiller, Marshall Cronk, Huemo Mata, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Stompers. But Milheim, Schiller in particular have been on fire for these guys today. Milheim, 3 for 3.
He's been the spark plug.
Schiller's hit the ball hard a couple of times too. That one misses downstairs. And that is a real high hopper that just about cleared the 12-foot fence. Joe, I'm just curious. I would have no idea why, but I'm just curious about why Huemo Mata, or what caused Huemo Mata to ditch the compression sleeve there that last inning.
Yeah, good question. Trying to think of the reason, but
I can't. I don't know.
Like, it is getting a little cooler now.
Yeah, but you don't wear that for the heat necessarily, or for.
But maybe his arm loosened up a bit.
Chases upstairs. Milheim uncharacteristically, but down on strikes, and that is a big out for Marco Diaz to not have to face Cam Schiller with Milheim aboard.
The 4 strikeout for Diaz.
See a lot of pitchers that do wear the compression sleeve now. Schiller fouls this one off. Schiller 2 for 3. And that one is fouled off again too, and he's late on Diaz. Joe, the only other game that is going on right now is Pueblo Bandits, at least in ISC 2. They're winning 13-7 over the Pegasus Redmen. That's an elimination game in the losers bracket for ISC 2. Called strike 3. Schiller down on strikes. JB and Nate's Auto are in the second inning. They're scoreless. That just got underway at 7 o'clock, so 15-20 minutes ago, just into the second inning. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. Marshall Cronk to the plate.
Here's the second time Marshall Cronk has faced Diaz.
Coming up on the ISC network, it's the Hill United Chiefs and RM Kurtz Enterprise. Michael Hollabraddock and Eric Chaparro will lock horns. And that's in for a strike. 2-1 to Marshall Cronk. Boy, what a feather in the cap this would be for Diaz if he can work through these three without giving up a base hit or a base runner. Cronk fouls that pitch off.
I think he got that pitch a little high in the strike zone. I think you want to bring that down.
Well, there's always the temptation when you throw as hard as this guy is throwing to want to try and blow it by somebody, especially when you're a youngster. And he blows it by Marshall Cronk right there. Wow, that is an impressive inning from Marco Diaz. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Can AWP win it? Come back and find out. this stuff.
I think they would enjoy you guys.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Yeah. Thank you. Miklas Klaas, Francisco Lombardo, Jordan Solario for AWP here in the bottom of the 7th inning. An opportunity to walk this off for the AWP Lumberjacks. 3-4-5, pretty good spot in the order. 2-3-4 didn't get it done for the Stompers.
That first out, bottom of the 7th inning, very key.
And that is lifted up to right. That's a long run for both these guys, sliding into foul territory and can't make a sliding catch. Reese Evans went a long way to go get it, or try to go get it. Same with Blake Underwood. He came from not deep right, but from far right. And he's not over near the line either, so that's a long run for Underwood. And Evans, obviously, from the second base position to
and
deep.
That wind was tailing, too.
Yeah, yeah. Joe, you remember last year, AWP walked off Hill United with a home run, if I'm remembering correctly.
Pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Might have been Colmenares, I think. Had the home run to walk off the Chiefs. And a little excuse me check swing. Milheim comes up gunning. They get Klaas at first base. I'm not sure what was going on with the coach, whether he got too close to the bag, but you see the coach there kind of pirouetting out of the way. But a little too excited over there, man.
Miklas Klaas only took the ball. Only did a half swing on that ball. It did not commit through that whole swing.
No, it's for him, on his perspective, it's unfortunate that it stayed fair. Lombardo. Lombardo hit the one off the fence his last trip. Thought he had it. I thought he had it, but it hit up near the flags. In for a strike.
Good full hard swing there again by Lombardo. 2 balls, 1 strike. This gentleman does not get cheated with his swings. One ball, 2 strikes.
And way upstairs.
Two and 2 count now.
It's a new glove for Huemo Mata, too.
Yeah, a different one.
Blows it by him. Strike 3, swinging. Down goes Francisco Lombardo. And we'll bring up Jordan Solorio.
8 strikeout for Lombardo. For Mata. Just the first one for Lombardo.
Well, that's a big out because that's a guy that can take the ball out of the yard.
Yeah.
You can't make a mistake there. You got to be so careful. This man is, the young man has impressed me today too, Jordan Solorio. Pours in a strike for Huemo Mata. Got caught looking, but has hit the ball a couple of times here.
He's got great wheels.
Took something off that, but missed, and you see Mata tap himself on the chest. Missed with the pitch. And he's flexing the back. I've seen him do this a couple of times here, Joe, in the later innings. Just reach around and flex the back a little bit. That's a good spoil by Solorio. Good pitch down and in from Mata, but able to foul that off. I think this crowd here, Joe, is just waiting to erupt if they can. For either team, too. I don't think there's a favorite here in this particular one. Not like last night where the crowd, I thought, was definitely in favor of the Batmen.
Yes.
Particularly as it seemed that the Gremlins had multiple calls go their way. The crowd seemed to pick up on that, rightly or wrongly.
Everybody likes the underdog.
Yes, indeed. Good battle here. Huemo Mata, Jordan Solorio. To third, Milheim up and over, and that will take care of the AWP Lumberjacks in the bottom of the 7th. Let's go to overtime, Joe.
Sure.
8th inning coming up.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
My name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miguelvaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo, pitcher de la selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folkard, play for the Hill United Chiefs, from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life.
My name's Jack Vesco from Australia, and I can't pitch without Gorilla Gold.
Gorilla Gold, the feel for the game.
Huemo Mata will try to set himself up for a potential win and a healthy cut from Huemo Mata. Trying to do it in one swing. 1-0 JB now in the third on Nate's auto. JB, Joe, trying to come back the long way.
Makes it very tough after losing that opener.
Well, they lost to this Kurtz team that we're going to see coming up against Hill United. Do they have another dagger? Mata, though, down on strikes.
Seventh strikeout for Diaz since he's come in. Fourth strikeout for Heimu Mata tonight.
Oof. Dylan Cunningham out in front and shake of the head, not happy with his swing there. What's that, the platinum sombrero? Cunningham chops this one. And the flip to first, that was almost a little too casual there by the third baseman. Pitterona.
Two walks and a single.
And swing and a miss over the top. That's John Hill on the right side of your frame from the Hill United Chiefs. They are patiently awaiting the finish of this one to take the field for the next game. They'll be playing RM Kurtz. We'll have that one for you on the ISC network as Pitterona takes this one off the dish. A lot of ball to play here still, I think, though, Joe, as these two are going at it, hammer and tong.
Very evenly matched.
They really are. And this AWP team, I know we've said it a couple of times tonight, they have really put together a strong season and have been a threat to the higher-ranked teams every time they've played them. 2-0 against the Stompers, 2-0 against Bear Creek. I know they haven't had any success against the Gremlins, but who has?
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Pitterona down to one knee. Can't catch up with the heat from Marco Diaz. We'll go to the bottom of the eighth. AWP, again, a chance to walk it off. Some of the great B-roll that Luciano Lafrano has been taking around the park here at John Miller Field, Circle Tap Bar and Grill, the world famous Circle Tap Bar and Grill, just on the outskirts of Denmark, Wisconsin. We're into extra innings, the bottom of the 8th. Huemo Mata and his Niagara Stompers trying to keep the door shut on the AWP Lumberjacks out of DuQuoin, Illinois. The Stompers from Niagara Falls, Ontario. In for a strike. Mata looks a little stronger this inning, Joe.
Yeah, he's really picked up his speed and his pace.
And we've often said that one goes with the other. Full shadow now for everybody on the diamond. The sun setting off to the west, wherever that may be. It's behind the Circle Tap bar. Shouldn't be an issue for anybody. Booley laces this one out to left. One hop for Pitterona. And Tyler Booley aboard with a single and a big clap of the hands as he rounds first base. Just goes the opposite way with it. That's a real good bit of hitting. And Booley is awaiting a pinch runner. And now he's given the no, I'm good sign.
He sold it to the coach anyway.
I think so. Federico Olheiser to the dish.
Walking 2 strikeouts.
He's had some good at-bats. He's battled hard. He's seen some good pitches, but puts down a beauty of a bunt, but they're going to go to 2. Short hopped through the wickets of Cam Schiller. That was a bad throw from Huemo Mata and right through the legs of Cam Schiller.
Watch it. He doesn't have his feet planted when he throws it.
It's tough when you've been throwing underhand to turn around and to throw overhand. It is a completely different motion. And Tyler Booley and Cam Schiller are chuckling about it, but that was a hard slide into Schiller. And now we're going to get the pinch runner as Mike Marrero will come on to pinch run for Booley. I mean, it wasn't a dirty slide, don't get me wrong, by any way, shape, or form, but it was a hard slide into Schiller. Ron Hackett is out having a conversation with the infield. And this is a spot for Mata and the Stompers here. This was the group that got it done the last time. Carreño and Sabate, the bottom of the order that tied this up. Now, if you're a Stompers fan, the good news is they've got a force on still on the bases. Anything hard hit to Blaine Milheim, he'll easily be able to step on the base and throw to first to get a couple of outs. The only run that matters is out at second base. Marrero squaring a bunt. Snap throw, and he's got a hand on the base as he gets mugged by Reese Evans. And you know, that's a great play. I really like that because you got a pinch runner into the game. That was a pitch out. And, you know, if that ball gets away from Evans, Marrero wasn't going to go anywhere unless he was going to carry Evans down to third base with him. I'm sure that's what Kevin Wallace is saying, too. You know, you can't just tackle the guy. Again, trying to bunt and can't get it down.
Poor execution on that bunt. You're sacrificing.
He doesn't have it out in front of him, Joe. He's got it kind of tucked in still. And ouch. Nobody's happy with that attempt.
No. Fresh batch of popcorn cooking.
Yeah, the smell, sweet smell of popcorn wafts out of the concession stand and into our broadcast trailer. So 1-2 to Carreño. Swinging away and swinging through. For 1 out, cannot advance the runners.
First baseman Cisco Sabate.
Where are you here? Are you letting Sabate swing away with his success the last time around, or are you still trying to move him up to third?
No way. Green light.
Veteran hitter at the plate. Already shown he can take the ball the other way. Swing and a miss there, or a foul tip at least. Martin Gonzalez, the lone man in the bullpen at this point for the Stompers, but he's playing spectator as much as he is warming up. Hard not to watch. The game on the line. Personalized shoes for Cisco Sabate. Number 10. That is his number. Just off the outside corner, 1-1. You can tell Mata is 110%. The oomph, the snap of the glove, the volume is up everywhere.
Great crowd here now tonight.
Gets him to chase the rise ball.
Need a lot better plate discipline there.
Well, that might have been the best pitch Waymo Mata's thrown all night. That rise ball jumped. ...141 pitches for Waymo Mata. La Pampa, the horse. Change up.
Nice pitch.
Well, it's a good pitch and a good take by Cisco Sabate, too. Let's see it here. Just off the outside corner and a little low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just the 1 out in the inning. The game-winning run, potential game-winning run, is out at second base. Mike Marrero. And another good take by Cisco Sabate. Waymo Mata is going to turn his back and go for a little walk. Three balls, 2 strikes. Can you get him to chase the rise ball again?
I'd go with the rise. He went after it earlier.
Sabate gets time at the plate. And that's fouled out of play. That maybe got a little bit too much of the plate that Waymo Mata might have liked. Alan Pecker has a couple of country mates on both sides of this one. It was Alan Pecker of the Hill United Chiefs who threw that ball in. Mata with the lean and gets the rise ball past Cisco Sabate for strike 3. Second out of the inning. We'll go to the top of the shop. Waldy Turkelson Hit the ball hard his last trip. Reese Evans was Johnny on the spot to snare a hot shot line drive. You don't even need to hit it hard here, Joe. You just need to hit it out to and onto the grass.
Just find a hole. Find a gap.
Strike on the outside corner. AWP bench not pleased with that call.
Somebody's not going to get pleased.
And that is fouled off the screen. So 0-2 to Valdi Turkelson. Advantage Huemo Mata here trying to work out of this jam in the bottom of the 8th. Up to 147 pitches now. Just 3 shy of where he finished last year's ISC championship game. Way upstairs to Turkelson. Can't get him to chase.
No, I don't think that one. Silence in the park.
Just inside. You can hear a pin drop. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's just like some nervous energy here. Mata set, and he fouls that one off.
Good job by Valdemir to stay active in that box with 2 strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 runners aboard. Mike Marrero, the runner at second. He's the one that matters. That's the potential game-winning run. AWP looking to upset the second-ranked team, largely comprised of last year's championship team.
Turkelson called time, granted by home plate umpire Mark Corris.
Can't get him to bite on that outside corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, this is worth the price of admission.
It certainly is, because now you've got the runner in motion. Even if it's hard hit to somebody in the outfield, advantage to the runner in that situation. Mata again at the hip. And that is fouled hard into the screen. The people walking by the screen jumped as it thudded off the post right beside them.
I love the grin on Valdemir Turkelson's face.
Well, where else would you rather be right now, right? I mean, the ISC World Tournament, a winner's bracket semifinal.
He's obviously not nervous, or he knows what job he's got to do, and he's up there hacking away at it.
Hey, we're all playing a kid's game here.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun with it, why don't we, too? Here's Mata, and again fouled off by Valdi Turkelson.
Good battle.
We got to be getting up to 8 pitches here at least, I think. Getting a little trigger happy on the music in between pitches. Here we go again. And that one is foul. Everybody oohed and awed on that one. Petterona will pick it up and get it back in. I gotta admit, I didn't even see where it went. It must have ricocheted off something to get out there, out to left field.
Yeah, it went off the fence.
So reset. We'll do this again. Here we go. Mata blows it by him this time. They strand 2 in the bottom of the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. Still knotted at 3.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
My name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miguelvaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo, pitcher de la selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folka. I play for the Hill United Chiefs from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life.
My name's Jack Vesco from Australia, and I can't pitch without Gorilla Gold.
Gorilla Gold, the feel for the game.
Well, if you're just joining us on the ISC network and you were wondering about the Hill United Chiefs and RM Kurtz, they're going to have to wait, because we've got a barn burner of a game going here between the Niagara Stompers and the AWP Lumberjacks. This game started at 5:02 p.m. Central Time. We're closing in on the 3-hour mark. We're in the top of the 9th. Lumberjacks had a 1-0 and 2-1 lead. Stompers erased that in the top of the 6th to make it 3-2. Lumberjacks promptly tied it right up in the bottom. Both teams have had a look at it here in extra innings. And Juan Cruz Zera is the latest Stomper to get aboard. Diaz and our home plate umpire Mark Corus sharing a bit of a word. I don't know what that was about, but looked friendly enough at least anyway. So Zera aboard with a base hit. He gets a pat on the back for first base coach Doug Eit. And Blake Underwood back to the dish. Not often your 4 or your 9 batter gets 4 at bats. He turns to bunt. And right on by Marco Diaz. Turns up the zip. Underwood squares again. And pulls back this time for ball 1. And can't get this one down. Double tapped at the plate. Joe, up at Denmark Memorial Park, JB hanging on to that 1-0 lead over Nate's Auto. They're in the 5th. They might finish before us. That game started at 7 o'clock. Called strike 3. Blake Underwood can't get the runner moved. Teo Migliavaca singled. That was back in the 6th, and that got those 2 runs in to help the Stompers take the lead at the time, but was tagged out trying to stretch that into a double. A walk and a couple of strikeouts as well. So 1 for 3 on the day. This one misses downstairs.
Second time that Migliavaca has now faced Diaz in this game.
Well, he smashed the first pitch that he saw in the 6th. And you knew he was upset coming in because he had struck out twice. That's past a diving Carreño. Zera will throw out the e-brake and scamper back to second, as getting that in quickly was Waldemar Turkelson. So we're getting a report from Rich Haldane, who's got the radar gun out. Marco Diaz between 85 and 87 miles an hour consistently with his pitches.
Fantastic.
We haven't seen anybody hitting that since Ramon Jones, I want to say back in 2014, 2015.
South Bend.
Adam Folkard was mid to high 80s in Midland in 2010, and I wonder if Zera popped something coming around the corner.
Well, he made a big turn there.
Well, and he also threw at the brake really quick. We actually saw this happen to Bo Bichette. If you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan, or you may have seen, well, you wouldn't have seen a highlight on ESPN of the Blue Jays. Haven't seen one all week yet. But Bo Bichette came around second base and threw at the brakes and popped a knee. So Zera's coming off the field. That's Brock Atwell. Darren Newson is the backup catcher for the Stompers, and he may get pressed into action, Joe. He's caught a game and a half down in the bullpen. Brock Atwell runs very well.
Well, this is an ideal situation for the Niagara Stompers. Blaine Milheim at the plate.
Yeah, this is where you want to be right now. Now, Diaz has gotten through these guys the last time around, but this is the second look now. Fouled right off by Milheim. Two speedsters out on the bases for the Stompers now. Atwell at second, Teo Migliavaca at first. Another one at the plate in the form of Blaine Milheim, and he's got pop too. Chases downstairs. They got him to chase upstairs to strike out in the 7th. And gets him here with some good old-fashioned country hardball. Here it is. Hit it if you can catch it. You can't.
There was a lot of heat there, man.
That had some zip. I'd love to know if that was topping 87.
Shortstop, Cam Schiller.
2 big strikeouts this inning. Cam Schiller now. He's also having a good night.
When doesn't Cam Schiller have a good night? Right on that, fouled it straight back to the screen. Still in the 5th, still 1-0 JB up at the other park. Our attention is here. Marco Diaz, Cam Schiller to the screen. And Brock Atwell, very alertly, up to third base. And just as important, Teo Migliavaca gets into second.
All right, Blair, put your coaching hat on. Would you walk Cam Schiller and face Marshall Cronk?
Oh.
Open first base.
You don't need to give Cam Schiller anything good here, that's for certain.
Marshall Cronk with 3 strikeouts tonight.
Chopper on the infield. You got to hurry. And, boy, he caught that down in the palm of the glove.
Little ice cream.
Cisco Sabate. But they get the out. So, no, Joe, I'm not going to pitch.
Okay.
Pitching, there you see Marco Diaz is on that list and certainly proving that worth tonight. Maybe moving up a few ranks as well.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.
Well, Joe Todd, is the bottom of the 9th going to be the time for the AWP Lumberjacks? 2-3-4, Cody Pennebecker, Miklas Klaas, Francisco Lombardo. Lombardo's a guy that I look at as a guy that can end this game with one swing.
Yes.
We know Miklas Klaas can, too. We saw him do that in the USA National. In for a strike on the inside corner. Pennebecker couldn't pull the trigger. 0-2. And that's just foul. Still 0-2 count. Mm-mm. Okay. And that one fouled off into the screen, maintaining that 1-2 count.
Good turn of the hands there by Pannebecker. All he wants to do is put the ball in play. Not looking for a home run. You're looking for a nice base hit. You want to hit a gap.
Yeah, you just need to get base runners again. AWP has had them. Wemomata has been equal to the task. Thought about going, but no, says Kevin Wallace. Yeah, little excuse me, check swing, that goes foul again. Pannebecker, 2-2. Made that nice play to end the top of the ninth. Cam Schiller ranges over to his left, picks it up on the hop, and throws out Pannebecker. That's a hard hit ball on a two-hopper to Schiller. He makes that play with ease.
Yeah. Hit it to the wrong guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. This is a pretty sure-handed infield. Milheim, Schiller, Evans, and Kronk. Miklas Kloss.
Kloss 0 for 4.
Chases upstairs.
3 fly balls and a ground out.
You're going to have to start a new page in the book. Zara's back out catching.
Yeah.
So whatever bothered him isn't enough to take him out of the ball game. But now Hackett wants to come out, and he's got Darren Smale with him, so I want to check on Mata. Well, that was a short and sweet visit. They didn't even get near him.
I think that was just giving him a break, or
I don't know. That might be.
Nice
That's a pretty canny move by Ron Hackett to bring the trainer with him to say, hey, I want to go check on my pitcher.
That's page 162 in the playbook.
Well, it might be a little, maybe in the advanced course, the 301 course, that might be a little earlier in the syllabus. Change-up, waving at it is Miklas Kloss. We haven't seen that in a couple of innings, and pulling it out of the bag of tricks here. And blows it by Miklas Kloss. Francisco Lombardo. One for 3 with a walk. That one was a booming double off the top of the fence out in right field. Any other day, I think that one goes out, Joe. Got held up in the wind a little bit. Thought about going, but no.
No. Good hold. Big cut.
Yeah, Mata just reared back and threw that one. Milheim, can he get him at first? He does. Outstanding play. Blaine Milheim, that took him 360 degrees, spun him all the way around. That's how hard he hit it. Let's take a quick look at that one if we can, before we go. Great play, Blaine Milheim. We'll go to the 10th.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with two of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
First baseman Marshall Cronk for the Niagara Stompers. Huemo Mata, Joe, I'm told, topping out at around 78 miles an hour.
Still not bad.
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
You combine that with location.
And a little bit of movement. Three and 0 to Marshall Cronk. Got to work his way back here, Diaz does.
That one's inside for ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk to Marshall Cronk, and we'll get a pinch runner for Marshall Cronk. That's number 11, Wes Short. My good friend Wes Short from Beamsville, Ontario. And Joe, I know Huemo Mata can park one out of here with one swing of the bat, but you pointed this out earlier. Not a great batting line tonight, 4 strikeouts.
Yes. I would think I would leave him on the bench and let him rest. Be prepared to pitch again.
But I think that the difficulty here is you're running out of bodies pretty quickly. You could throw Matt Greer in to hit. Well, they're going to have Mata bunt. You could throw Matt Greer in to hit here, or Kyle Linton in to hit. Newson you got to keep available as a catcher in case something happens. You've used Atwell. Booley's going to go out and talk with Diaz and use his conference. Horace recording the conference in his book just to make sure. Mata squares to bunt again, puts down a good one. Diaz turns, fires a seed to second. That one was low. Carreño probably saw what happened the previous inning and was ready for it. It really is hard to turn and throw overhand when you've been throwing underhand consistently.
Real good play by Diaz, though.
Yeah, now you've got Huemo Mata out running the bases.
Yeah.
And again, for the reasons we just talked about, again, you can throw Linton in there to run. Dylan Cunningham laces this one down to the corner out in left field. Mata coming around third. They're going to wave him home. He'll score easy. Dylan Cunningham with an RBI double. And Huemo Mata showed some good wheels there, too.
Yeah.
All the way from first. Big hit by Dylan Cunningham. 1 out in the inning. 4-3 lead now for the Niagara Stompers. Pitterona fouls this one off. Didn't want to go, but fouled it off. Diaz misses away.
"69 pitches for Diaz to this point. Now 70, sorry.
That's lifted up into short right. That's a long run out there. Nobody gets to it. Coming up throwing that was the right fielder, I think, that ultimately got it. Nicholas Kloss able to get the ball in and keep Dylan Cunningham from advancing past third. You can see it just falls into the Bermuda Triangle out there. Kloss snares it on the bounce.
Big inning here for Niagara Stompers.
Juan Zera, who hit the ball hard an inning ago.
Limping quite a bit, though.
Yes. So if you're Travis Pannenbecker, what's the nature of this conversation, do you think? It's not like Diaz has made a whole bunch of mistakes here. They've just hit the ball.
Well, he made a mistake on the leadoff batter, but he got out of that side of it. Walking Marshall Cronk with 4 straight.
Yes. Yes, fair. But having Huemo Mata bunt was a good trade-off.
Yeah.
Called a strike to Zera. And Joe, anything on the ground, it's a good double play candidate here, the way he's limping.
Yeah. Especially with Dylan Cunningham at third base, too. He's not a speedster, but potentially you might have a play at the plate.
And now Diaz is bent over in behind the circle. And he's flexing his right leg, right ankle. That's the pivot foot. Yeah, he's trying to shake that out. He's got, don't know if it's the knee or the ankle necessarily, but just the way he's trying to roll that around, it's one of the lower joints. Well, he's smiling about the conversation, but certainly a look of concern there on the face of Travis Pannebecker. A long game starting to take its toll on everybody. What was it that Donnie Atkinson said about 2.5 hours ago? The Grand Prairie Pirates hoped that these guys would play extra innings and knock each other out. The Pirates will play the loser of this tomorrow. Diaz just tried to rear back and throw that one, but nowhere near the plate. 3-1 to Zara. Up the middle, Pannebecker gets it. They get one and then dropped. And Cunningham scores. So make it 5-3. A good play by Pannebecker to go get that ball up the middle and get an out on the play at least, even though you traded that for a run. Just the runner on first. Blake Underwood. Oh, it took a high hop on Pannebecker. And that's an unfortunate break for AWP. That's the first real bad hop I've seen here all week, and what an unfortunate time for AWP. You can see it come right up on Pannebecker, almost got him in the face. Got him high in the shoulder.
AWP have to get that third out. Close this inning off.
Well, when it rains, it pours. They've not gotten a break here this inning, and that is a tough one for the Lumberjacks with now the top of the shop. And Migliavaca has come to life his last two at-bats. Missing outside. 2-0, and Diaz has been falling behind with regularity now, Joe.
Yes. Lost that little zip on the ball.
That's out of play on the left side. Two and one. And we'll make it 2-2. 2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 on, 2 in this inning for the Niagara Stompers. They have really worked Marco Diaz hard this inning, Joe.
Yeah. Made him throw a lot of pitches.
So make it 3-2 to Teo Migliavaca. And some of the championship pedigree now starting to show through a little bit. Much better at bats. And that misses downstairs. Bases loaded, already 2 runs in on the inning. The ever dangerous Blaine Milheim to the plate. 3 for 5. He was hot early in the game, Joe, but now he's cooled off.
Yeah.
Much like the weather.
Mr. Diaz has exited the game.
Yes, and Kuba Osichka back in. I don't know if Kuba was throwing down on the sidelines. We didn't see him throwing down there, was he? Warming up? Well, we'll see. He's going to get his warm-up tosses at least. And we'll take a break, and we'll be back to see how this one concludes. Have left in the tank, Joe?
We will find out.
First pitch swinging, Blaine Milheim to Carreño. The flip to second. It's close, but they get the force on Teo Migliavaca. So that's what he's got, is one pitch to get them out of the inning. That was all he needed. But the Stompers push across 2 in the top of the 10th. They'll take a 5-3 lead into the bottom. 3 outs to advance.
Welcome to Monthill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Monthill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful...
For the best bear tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Joe, it's going to be up to the middle third of the order. Jordan Solorio, Tyler Booley, Federico Olheiser, 5, 6, 7. For the AWP Lumberjacks. You need to get a couple of guys aboard. You need a big hit. All of which they've done at times against Huemo Mata, but since they tied the game in the 6th, he seems to have found another gear.
Yes, he has completely dominated the last 4 innings, so it's a big challenge for the AWP Lumberjacks here.
Solorio's hit the ball hard a couple of times today. Single, a line out, and a hard shot down to Blaine Milheim. We have Amada working ahead, 0-2.
Throw him that changeup.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Solorio down on strikes. Little disbelief. Just catches the front of the plate on the way through.
13 strikeouts for Amada.
He's picked up the pace, because I remember you saying you only had a couple through the first 3.
Yeah.
In for a strike. And this one is downstairs. Booley reached on a nice base hit in the 8th, leading off, and then they couldn't get him in. Walked all the way back in the 3rd.
Good eye at the plate by Tyler Bullitt.
Three balls, 1 strike to Tyler Booley. And he fouls that one off. So we'll go to a full count. $176 pitches now for Huemel Mata. Make it 177 with that last one. So ball 4, and
good plate appearance by Booley.
Very good plate appearance by Tyler Booley. Did not chase. A lot of guys will go after that pitch. Federico Olheiser. A sack bunt and a walk sandwiched around a couple of strikeouts. In for a strike.
You don't want to make a mistake to Olheiser.
No, this is a guy that can tie it up with one string, one swing.
He could bury it. Big swing. He just
got the end of the bat on it as Mata took something off that pitch. Olheiser just a bit out front. Oh, way back to the fence and caught.
Oh, he got all of that. Just too much altitude.
He got the crowd buzzing. Everybody thought he got it. Migliavaca just onto the track. Carlos Carreño, as everybody's heart rate comes back down a couple of beats. Including probably Huemo Mata's.
Yes.
And again, Joe, you got to wonder, does the wind play any factor in that? It's still gusting around pretty lustily out there. Just upstairs to Carreño. Hopper through the infield. Booley will get up to second base. He's going to go for third. The throw comes into second. That's the important runner to keep at first base. Booley's run, not quite inconsequential, but it doesn't really matter. It takes a bit of a high hop on Pitterona there. Had the body in front of it, as you like to note. Good positioning. Didn't let it get by him.
Good play by Rona to get that ball in. Keep that runner stranded at first base.
And that was key because Carreño is the tying run now at this point. Ron Hackett out again to give Zera and Mata a break, I'm sure. 184 pitches for Huemo Mata. As we close in on 3.5 hours for this one. Cisco Sabate. Cisco's been up in a number of big-time situations here in this game, Joe. He's come through a couple of times, but doesn't like that one. That's low.
He puts the ball in play. He had that key double back in the 6th inning. Drove in the 3rd run of the game.
Over the top of that, good drop from Huemo Mata.
Great drop. Great movement on that pitch.
Can he get this done in under 190 pitches, do you think, Joe?
Possibility.
Well, he's got 5 to get there. Swing and a miss. Huemo Mata, 186 pitches, 10 innings. The Niagara Stompers persevere in a 3.5-hour marathon, 5-3 over the AWP Lumberjacks. An outstanding fast pitch game. This one had just about everything, Joe.
Great ball game. Fantastic type of ball game you want to sit down and watch. Some great pitching, some great hitting. Great defense. It's got the whole package.
Well, we hope we kept you entertained for 3.5 hours. These teams certainly did their best to give us some drama. Joe Todd, Blair Setford, Luciano Lafrano, Carol DeReste. We're going to take a bit of a break. Come back in about 15-20 minutes, and we'll have our nightcap, the Hill United Chiefs and RM Kurtz. Coming up on the ISC network.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now